You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining me today, allowing me to be your entertainment for the week. I'm sure you have other means of entertainment. Ryan's here with me. Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
How you doing? You're holding your cheek. Are you all right?
Well, today is election day, so a little stressed, but
yeah,
just would be remiss if I didn't mention it at least.
Things will work out the way they will.
True.
They just, you can't control certain things. So you just got to go, hey, I did my part. I voted.
Yep. I voted. Hope you all voted.
If you didn't vote, don't bitch.
I wrote a rap about voting.
Yeah. Go watch it. Where can you watch it?
On the Warp Zone YouTube channel.
Warp Zone YouTube channel. Here's the thing. I'm not going to get into politics or anything, but just if you want to see change, vote. And then if you don't vote, don't bitch.
There you go.
You're not allowed to bitch if you don't vote.
That's it.
I don't like the way this person's, did you vote for him? Did you not vote for them? Anyway, here we go.
It's very easy. Anyway,
we got a great show for you today. That's the first time in 330 episodes I've ever even talked about this stuff, I think, probably. But I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying vote. I'm not going with tell you who to vote for. I'm just saying vote.
Listen, we got a very good guest today.
Yes, we do. Danny Trejo, somebody I've been trying to get on this podcast for a long time. You know him from so many movies. There's too many to talk about. But we do talk about some of them on this podcast, along with his amazing career, how he got into all this, life in prison, how he's been such a good role model and citizen and helping others, and his taco stands, Trejo's taco stands, and so many other things. This guy is dynamic and he's fun, and you're going to have a great time with this. A few things. If you get a chance, go to my Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum, my link tree. You can see stuff there for Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. It's my new product on Amazon. You can just put a little capful in your dog's water, tasteless, odorless, and makes your dog's breath good. So thanks for supporting me. And the Talented Farter is still available. Get it. Of course it's still available. It just came out. The Talented Farter is my book. Ryan got one. I'm going to sign your books when I go out there.
Thanks.
Yep. He brought a couple books to sign. And it's a sound book. It's touching. It's cool. Great illustrations. And I hope you get one. The Talented Farter on Amazon. We're doing really well, like with the numbers, like in children's humor, number one.
Saw your spot on television, on local.
Yeah, on KTLA. I'm doing Us Weekly. I'm doing a lot of stuff for it. So hoping people buy this great gift for the holiday. $20 for this great fart sound book. And it's good for kids, good for adults, good for white elephant parties and holidays and all that. So grab that. The Inside of You online store, great stuff on there. Lexmas script signed by me, ship keys, Funkos, Lex Luthor's, shirts, tumblers. We have it all. And yes, and Tom and I are working on some things for next year. We're going to be doing a lot of cons, but we have a couple, maybe a Smallville con. We'll announce that when we can. And then there's something else really special, but I can't say a word about that. But what are you going to do? Yeah, but hopefully Ryan will join us. Well, who knows? Who knows? But happy Halloween. I hope you had a happy Halloween.
I did. Yeah, we did some pumpkin carving.
We did some pumpkin carving in my house. Carving? Yeah, we did. We always have pumpkin carving at my house in a taco truck. Delicious tacos, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a positive night of the year.
It is. And I don't do a lot of gatherings so much, but when I do, it's a fun time. There'll probably be some karaoke. There'll probably be some giant size Connect 4 outside. Maybe some, what's that game out there? Shuffleboard.
The shuffleboard.
The standing shuffleboard.
Uh-huh.
Love you. Thanks for joining. And if you want to join Patreon and support this podcast to keep it going, please do. Without you, we couldn't do the show. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So join Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you, become a patron. And there's a lot of perks. There's a lot of tiers. Some people get boxes from me every couple months and notes, and just there's so much stuff. So check it out. Patreon.com/inside of you. And let's get inside of Danny Trejo.
It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience. This is awesome. This is like, this is like this is a legend in the room. You're a legend. Do you know you're a legend?
I I know. I met Keith Legend.
Who's that?
I don't know. Keith Legend. What's his name? Ledger.
John Legend?
Yeah. I think,
The singer?
Yeah. You know what? It's you can't be a legend having this much fun. You know what I mean? It's like,
You do have fun, don't you?
Hey, I won't do it if it's not fun.
I mean, because I can't believe it. You're 80.
Yeah.
You don't look 80. I swear on my life.
You know what? It's really scaring me because everybody's 65 and 70 are dying. Oh my God.
Now, I have to think, like, out of all the people that are like, people always fear death, right? They're always, you've been probably so close to death so many times. Do you honestly fear death at all?
No, I think I don't fear it. I know I respect it. I know you can die that quick. You know, you just put too much a foot on that pedal or you ride that motorcycle too hard. You're that quick. So I really respect it. I think I really respect death and take it. You take it any time. That ticker can just stop. And so it's just like, let's get everything out of today we can.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, I think people forget that until it's too late sometimes about living, and you, someone who's gone to prison, someone who's had such a tough upbringing, all these things. It's like if anybody could like learn to appreciate life.
Every day. Wake up, and as long as I'm on the green side of the grass, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. It's going to be a good day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I want to get into that stuff too, but also I want to talk about Seven Cemeteries.
It's a fun movie.
It's so fun because I just watched it, and I'm good friend with Efren Ramirez.
Yeah, I know.
And he comes to I have horror movie nights every Tuesday night, and he comes over and we talk about it. And what I noticed is it's got everything in this movie.
That's what actually caught my eye when I read it. There's the script, they give me the script, and there's enough horror to make it a horror movie, but then there's enough jokes and comedy to make it a comedy, and then there's enough action to make it an action flick. So it all kind of melts together.
Well, what I was surprised at was like, I'm watching it and I see a lot of movies, but that opening is so intense. Yeah. Like it is one of the most intense openings to a movie I have ever seen. Yeah, it's gruesome. It's intense. Who's the lead guy, the bad guy?
Sal Lopez. Abuelito, yeah.
How good is he?
It's amazing. I've done about 3 or 4 different movies with him, and he's amazing. In fact, that whole cast was John, the director. He just like putting a puzzle together and did it perfect. Yeah. It's like, and we had that one messed up piece that, it goes in and everybody, it's like everybody, it was just it became a close knit.
I think it's going to be a cult. I think it's going to be one of those things that gets a following because even the scene where the cop is shooting you when you're walking through the grass and you keep getting up and you keep walking. It's so good. And then you're like you just got out of prison. You're trying to make good on your life. And then you get trapped into this thing. So look, man, I hope people see it. And it was a lot of fun.
It's going to be a pretty roller coaster ride.
My question is, at 80 years old, how do you have the strength? I'm 52 and I can't imagine. Like, aren't those days long on set?
Yeah, really long. But you know what? It's like it's when you're having fun, you forget that. You might remember the next morning, but during that you're just having like a blast.
But do you have any pains? Do you have like bad knees at 80? Do you have like do you feel like shit? Like I feel like shit when I wake up.
I got my knee wrapped right now, but I twisted that walking down some steps.
Are you?
It wasn't even a stunt, and so. But other than that, I'm pretty good shape, and I think. One of the keys, you got to walk. You just got to walk, and we drive everywhere. But if I got to go to the store, I'll walk. And go to the bank, I'll walk.
But don't you get recognized too much that we always have to stop walking?
Yeah, but you know what? In my neighborhood, they've kind of like accepted me. If I go out of there, if I walk downtown, I get stopped. But in my neighborhood, I got my little spot to where
you bought your childhood home.
Huh?
Didn't you buy your childhood home?
No, I've had it for a long time. I think I just sold it, and then I gave it to my daughter, and then she said, so we sold it, and then now I just live down the street. You know, I just bought a place down by where my mom used to live.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be where you are, or get to be where you are?
You know what, Holmes? In my wildest dream, I never thought I was getting out of prison. I mean, that was just all the friends that I grew up with. That was our lives. You know, this is what we did. You go to juvenile hall, then you go to camp, and then you go to youth authority, and then you're in prison for the rest. And it was like we see each other all the time. And man, I've got so many letters from people's brothers, and you know, Charlie passed away, blah blah blah. In Quentin or wherever, you know.
Do you still have friends in prison?
No, most of them are gone. You know, most of them are gone.
But for a while, did you ever keep in touch with them or visit them?
I used to visit my uncle when he was in the joint, Uncle Gilbert. You know, I'd go up in Folsom and see him, and Tehachapi when he was there. You know, and I'd visit him. And it's funny, he when I did Heat, you know, I walked onto the movie set of Heat. And Michael Mann said, "Hey, Gilbert." And I said, No, I'm Michael, I'm Danny. Oh, yeah. And we started, "How's Gilbert?" And we started talking. Michael Mann did a movie called The Jericho Mile, and he did it in Folsom Prison. Well, the African-American inmates came out, the Caucasian inmates came out, but no Mexicans. And Michael Mann was like, "What the hell's going on?" You know, I mean, you can't make a prison movie about Mexicans, and it's unheard of.
You could say that.
And so somebody told me, "You got to talk to the guys that, you know, run." So he ended up talking to my uncle and Charlie and a couple other of the guys that ran it, and they gave the guys permission to work. But Michael Mann made friends with my uncle Gilbert.
And he remembered him.
Oh, yeah.
Years later.
You know what? Michael Mann won't admit it, but he paid my uncle SAG wages while they were doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Cash?
No, can't say cash.
I don't think they can take cash.
But he gave him, you know, I paid him, and it was, they got that movie. So when I told him, "No, you know what, Gilbert passed away," you know, when I got on the Heat, Gilbert passed away. He said, "Oh, man." And he said, "Well, okay." When we started, he changed the script 3 times. He changed my name. Every time they changed my name, we'd get a new script. Finally, on the 3rd time, he said, "Danny, you know what? Every time I look at you, I think of Gilbert. Can I call you Gilbert in the movie?"
Wow.
And I said, yeah, absolutely.
That's
so
how it
my
happened?
whole family was crying because in the movie it says, Gilbert Trejo, played by Danny Trejo, you know, and it was like,
that's crazy.
It was unbelievable. My whole family's kind of an homage to my uncle, you know.
That's awesome. Desperado, Heat, From Dusk Till Dawn, Reindeer Games, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Machete, Spy Kids, Con Air, Anchorman, Breaking Bad. You have a taco cantina, coffee and donuts. It's like, what the F don't you do?
You know what?
What?
I'll tell you this. Everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. I got into the restaurant business because I helped this director. He needed a name for this low budget movie he had. And I was kind of waiting for this other flick to come down the pike. There was, you know, a big budget movie. And he was asking me and my agent said, "You know what, this might not be a bad idea, Dan." And I said, "Yeah, but you know, we got checks over here, and
yeah, guaranteed money coming in."
And she said, "Well, okay." And agents have a way of Gloria Hinojosa, right? She has a way of, "Okay, I'm just the agent. I don't know anything about this business." Okay, let's do the movie. So we do the movie. Turns into a trilogy. movie called Badass, right? It broke every record there was. And but on the movie, I met this producer named Ash Shaw. And he saw that I like to eat good food. I won't eat, just go to...
Just won't eat shit.
Yeah, and I'll always, a low budget movie, I'll always bring like a chicken salad or a tuna salad. If the food is okay, I'll eat it. I'm not fussy. I just don't like
shitty food, right?
And he mentioned that. He said, "Danny, I watch you. You eat really well. I'm 70 years old. I'm better,
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you open a restaurant? And jokingly, I said, Trejo's Tacos. We did Badass, Badasses, and Badass on the Bayou. He brought me a business plan on the last one and says, check this out, Dan. And it was for a restaurant. But I opened the first page with no killing, no murder, not shooting anybody. I don't carry a machete. So I gave it to my agent, and she kind of said, Dan, is this a no-brainer? Look, every time somebody wants us to do something, they need $100,000 up front. They need $50,000 up front.
You didn't?
And they weren't asking. They were saying, this is what we'll do. You have the say-so in everything. You have the
It's your name.
We need your name. And she said, it's a no-brainer. So I said, well, okay.
But were you surprised when this thing...
Absolutely. I mean, we opened up one...
How did you know? How fast did you know this was a success?
When I opened up La Brea, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
We opened up one on La Brea, and what had happened was we had said, we announced, hey, we're opening up a restaurant, blah, 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 blah. Somebody, I don't know, the bikers, somewhere the bikers came in. So, but there was this announcement that the bikers were riding in from Malibu to my restaurant. But those are bicycles. Well, the bikers in San Bernardino, those are motorcycles. So we had a whole bunch of Schwinn's and a whole bunch of...
Hey, that's what you want.
Hey, so it was cool.
Inside of You is brought to you by Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Look, as we transition into fall and our schedules get busier, back-to-school activities for the kids, tighter work deadlines as we approach the end of the year, or the start of holiday preparations, it's easy to forget about taking care of ourselves. During this busy season, one simple but effective thing you can do for yourself is start taking Nutrafol.
Are you interested in having hair that grows faster, stronger, and longer? Having visibly thicker volume, experiencing noticeably less shedding, thicker lashes and brows? All of this is possible with Nutrafol.
I have heard from so many friends, even one of my female friends, who this really works for. Physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol helps support hair growth from within by targeting possible key root causes of thinning, stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body wellness.
While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In Nutrafol's own clinical study, 72% of men saw more scalp coverage after taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months, and 86% of women saw improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months as well.
With a Nutrafol subscription, getting help building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required. Automated deliveries and free shipping keep you on track. Plus, you could save up to 20%. You'll have access to free naturopathic doctor consults, and a Headspace membership is included. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code INSIDE. Find out why 4,500 professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code INSIDE. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code INSIDE.
And so, I mean, that place is always doing well. We did that. We opened up Hollywood. We opened up Farmers Market. You know, we had a great one in Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills.
But the problem was when the pandemic hit, everything closed out there, you know. So we're trying to open up another one out there. But then
That's
now
crazy.
We've just opened up one on Portobello Road in London, and that one's killing it. Yeah, that one's killing
And you show up.
Oh, yeah.
You love showing up.
Yeah, every few months.
You get mobbed?
Yeah.
Sign my taco.
Well, right now, well, you know what's funny? I was signing the Cocoa Pop, what do you call those things?
The cereal?
No, those things there. What are they?
Oh, the Funko.
The Funko Pops. And I kept saying, no, I'm doing a Cocoa Pop signing. And everyone,
you call it Cocoa. It's like Cocoa Pops or cereal back in the day.
Finally, my son goes, Dad, you're not signing these, okay?
Finally, I know what you're talking about. The Cocoa. Yeah.
So
that's amazing. I mean, look, I talk about your childhood. You've talked about it before, but it was rough, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years old, you were like doing heroin and things like that.
12
years old.
I was smoking weed at 10.
Did you have anybody really guiding you, or?
Well, you know what? That was the thing. It was like my grandmother and grandfather, they had, I think, 12 kids. My Uncle Gilbert was the last one. So they were kind of burned out on kids. My dad pulled me away from my mom, my real mom, at 3. And then he needed a mom for me. So he married this Alice, who was a great lady, but just didn't really,
know how to parent?
Yeah, well, didn't like kids.
Oh, shit, that's even worse.
So we just didn't gel well. And so me and Gilbert, my uncle, he was, I'll give you an example. Okay. You go to your mom, it's on the phone, and you go, Mom. Yeah, go ahead. And keep talking, right? And yeah, okay, you interrupted her. So what? You go to your dad, right? He's on do it. Dad, hey, listen. Talking to my boss.
No one's paying attention to you.
Well, it's just they don't have time. Now, I could go to my uncle, Gilbert. He'd be on the phone. And I go, hey, Gilbert. Yeah, hold on. What do you want? And we'd talk, whatever.
He was the only one.
Only one. And so, because everybody else, my Uncle Rudy, who I adored, right? But he was going to college. So he was always, and then all my other uncles were working. My family, we were growing up in the 50s. So women were secondary and they didn't work. Men worked. In my family, when we would have like a party, a family party, and the guys would all be out there drinking beer and hey, Art, you want a beer? Oh, wait, hold on. Hey, Bonnie, can Art have a beer? Because she worked. So it was humiliating for your wife to work. And that's the way I grew up. So, if you liked a caveman, you were a girl, you might have liked me. But Gilbert was like completely different. All these other guys were construction and hard and hated their boss and were angry. And Gilbert was always dressed to the nines. But I didn't know he was dealing weed, And
wow. So you really had one person that would listen to you. That's the funny thing.
And you know what? I can remember when we lived in Burbank, 29 East Palm, Burbank, the 5 freeway goes right over it right now. And I can remember my grandfather had a 1936 Dodge. It was in the 50s, I think. And I was 7, 8. The clock didn't work. My grandfather would go to sleep. Me and Gilbert would take off in the Dodge. And he had a bowl of sensemilla, marijuana, right? Yeah. A big bowl of it. And he would pull up to a house and give a whistle. And they'd come out, give me 2, and he would roll 2 joints, and he'd give them, he'd get the money. And my job was to count the songs because the radio worked. So my grandfather would be asleep for about 2 hours. So I would count the songs, which were about 3 minutes, 3 songs, 9 minutes, that's 10 minutes, and 4 songs.
Knowing how much time you
Knowing
had?
how much time we had. That was my job. I didn't know it. I didn't know he was selling weed.
Wow.
I was just glad to be there.
That's so visual. That's so visual. That's like a movie.
I was just glad to be there. Then they turned me on to grass. I was about 8.
And then grass led to other things.
Then grass, I smoked grass from 8 to 12. And then 12, I caught Gilbert shooting heroin. And so I threatened to snitch if he didn't give me some, So I didn't even know what it was.
I just can't imagine. How old were you when you went to prison?
16.
How scary is that?
Well, if you've been at juvenile hall and stuff, you've kind of been initiated. It's kind of like a student. You go to elementary school, then oh boy, junior high, and you get initiated, and then oh boy, high school. And then
You sound like it's exciting, but it's not exciting.
Well, it's
just like you don't think about it too much.
You don't. It's like you know the rules. Once you know the rules, it's like, okay, now I can die in here, or I can kill somebody first. I mean, that sounds weird.
Did you always fear like getting stabbed, getting like?
It depends on what you're doing. It's like the saying, "I got your back." People don't understand that saying. That saying was developed in prison. When you're talking to me, I got your back, and when I'm talking to you, you got my back.
You can see behind you,
and so that's part of the thing. So you always have somebody watching your back. And it was like I had 3 people. I had Tyrone Rye, who was a Mexican with a name Tyrone. So if you said Tyrone wrong, you're in trouble. I would call him Ty. I wouldn't say Tyrone. If you said Tyrone with an African American accent, you might get killed. But
for that little, you get killed.
Yeah, well, his mom loved an actor. What's his name? Tyrone Powell or something?
I don't know.
Tyrone Powell.
Yeah.
And so she named him Tyrone. So he grew up angry, all right? And then Cookie was so pretty that he grew up angry because people thought he was a girl. And he wasn't. He's a killer. And Frog. So these were my posse, right?
And they had your back.
Always.
How many times did they take care of someone when they messed with you?
Ty was, me and him had a little thing going with, this was in the 60s. And, in the 60s, a lot of young kids were doing acid and flipping out and coming into San Quentin. And so we would approach them and say, look, you might have a problem because you look like a girl. So if you can either come with us, we'll protect you for a certain amount, or go ahead. So they would, I'm a man. But the first time they got a black guy and somebody threatened to kill them if they didn't, they'd come back. Hey, what do I got to pay? So in there, it's protection. Out here, it's extortion. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I mean, and I had, after I got out of prison in 1969, I got letters from family members of kids that we helped for 2 years. Thank you, the Christmas card. And so,
wow,
you got to make your money. Only problem is, if somebody wants that kid, you got to be willing to do whatever needs to be done
to protect them.
Because then if something happens to him, your credibility is kind of shot.
Did you ever, I just imagine myself in a prison cell, in this small prison cell, lying in my bed, staring up at the bunk.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember those thoughts going through your mind every night when you went to sleep? Like, am I ever going to get out of here? Like, I just want to die. I just want to, like, what was going through your head?
You do if that's your first time, like all that you lost in juvenile hall. Then the next youth authority, you go to sleep. In prison, you kind of, this is my life. This is what I do.
So you're accepting.
You absolutely accept it. And because if you don't, you'll go crazy.
Did you think you were gonna? When was the thought of like, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna change my life? I'm a change man.
In 1968, there was a riot, Cinco de Mayo, 1968 in Soledad. Now, all the Mexicans thought like Cinco de Mayo, it's independence. No, it's not. The Mexicans won the Battle of Puebla, which is a little stinky town, and they finally won a battle against the Spaniards. So a national holiday. So Cinco de Mayo, everybody thinks it's 5th of May, but it actually means get bail money. Okay, you're gonna go to jail. It's that simple. You know, you're gonna crash your car. Your wife's gonna stab you. You're gonna shoot a gun, something is gonna go wrong. It's that kind of day, you know, and that's why they invented tequila for Cinco de Mayo, so soften the blow, whatever.
But you had this riot.
Unbelievable riot, right?
And
what happened is they brought in an outside baseball team, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, here's guys never been in prison. They're in college. They all got real thick wallets, you know, and it was like stupid. I remember Ray Pacheco, a good friend of mine. He's passed away already. I grew up with this kid, right? And he had come down from Tascadero because he had killed his girlfriend. He should have shot the guy that she was going out. But anyway, he killed his girlfriend, and he came down from Tascadero, which is the state mental hospital. But state mental hospital only has 7 years. That's when you only get 7 years on a medical. So they sent him from there. He had 2 years left to Soledad, and this third baseman was chewing gum, you know,
loudly.
Yeah, big, you know, white boy. And Ray's, God, I wish I had some gum, man. He was just almost started crying, wanted some gum. And I said, you're right, don't mess with that dude, man. He knows karate. It was just
right.
And I went to the bathroom when I came back. There was a big riot, and Ray had socked the guy with the gum. Henry ruptured the coach. It was alleged that I threw a rock and hit Lieutenant Givens.
Did you?
No. And it was alleged. And so we went to the hole, and Henry yelled out, "Hey, Danny, they're going to top us," because we all had gas chamber offenses. And the thought hit me that, wow, this ain't no joke.
You could die.
Yeah, again. And so it was like, all I said, dear Heavenly Father, let me die with dignity, you know, because I remembered this movie. It was with Pat O'Brien. It was something about on the Hudson, I don't remember, but it was like the East Side Kids.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're talking about.
The big guy was going to the chair and he'll spit in their eye. Yeah, he'll go out tough, and Pat O'Brien had to come back and say, nah, he went out like a bitch, screaming, yelling, you know. And I said, I had a reputation, I was lightweight and welterweight.
Yeah, champion in prison.
I said, you know what? Let me die with dignity, Lord. I'll say your name every day, and I'll do whatever.
You made a promise
for my fellow inmate. I didn't thought I was getting out of prison, and by the grace of God, that was May. That was Cinco de Mayo, 1968. I went to board in 1969 in July. Yeah, July. And I remember the parole agent said, Trejo, we're getting sick of you. And I remember saying, what's a pleasant way to start a conversation between two gentlemen? And he says, we're kicking you out of here. You got a 10-year top. Bring us back a life sentence. So they had no hope of me being successful on the streets. They said, you have forgotten how to be an honest citizen. And I thought about that.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy is hugely important. It's been so important in my life. Ryan, you use BetterHelp.
I do.
So do so many people. And people come up and thank me because, it's not about major trauma. People with major trauma just need therapy. It's mostly everyone who's going through anything, and a good platform to talk to someone. And I really appreciate all that BetterHelp does, and I'm glad they're a part of my life. This month is all about gratitude. And along with everyone we're thankful for, there's another person we don't usually thank enough, ourselves. It's sometimes hard to remind ourselves that we're trying our best to make sense of everything, and in this crazy world, that isn't easy. BetterHelp can help with that. Therapy can remind us to slow down and take stock of just how far we've come in our journey, and remind us to take a really good look at ourselves and appreciate what we see. Therapy is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And it isn't just for those, like I said, who've experienced major trauma. It's for everyone. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. It's easy. A lot of people, Ryan, are worried, like, what if I don't like my therapist? Well, you just change. It's so easy. You don't have to worry about that. So don't think that's an issue. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/inside today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/inside.
My first day out, I remember Frank Russo picked me up. We went to a meeting, an AA meeting. And then the next morning, a Sunday, I'm standing out in the yard. I went to help a lady take out her trash can. I'll never forget what she said. No me robas. Shut up, vieja. And I got her trash can and brought it out. Because that was when they used to put everything in one trash can and pull it out. They didn't have the nice rolling kind, just had tubs. And that's what I started doing.
So it's a first good deed, and you just felt like...
That was what I did. I was like the trash guy.
And you didn't look back?
I ain't been back.
Did you ever get into fights after that? Some fights?
Oh, yeah. I socked a couple of people.
Were you on the streets? You were kind of fearless? Like you weren't afraid of anybody?
Yeah, it was kind of like you don't... Fear is... the fear of losing is real strong. And if the fear of losing is real strong, you're dangerous. You're not afraid of anything until it's there. And then if you become afraid of looking bad, you're dangerous. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then you're willing to bite somebody in the face and say, I won.
Yeah.
I know. I've known people that have shot somebody and walked away, I won. And so if it's winning, if it has to do with winning, then there's no rules.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how you started this acting career, because it was kind of by luck, by chance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody said, who was it? Wasn't it a kid who was...
Extra. I was a kid who got me into being an extra. And then I got a call from him one night and said, Dan, there's so much blow down here, man. Come on down. I went down. It was 1985. And there was so much blow on a movie set in 85. And I went down there and we, in fact, the guys that he had signed me up with were going to send me to this movie anyway. And we went down and it was a movie called Runaway Train, John Voight and Eric Roberts. I walked on that movie set. The guy said, hey, are you going to be in this movie? I don't know what I got to do. He says, can you act like a convict? I'll never forget that. Can you act like a convict? I thought San Quentin, Folsom, Soledad, Chino, I'll give it a shot. and so he told me I took off my shirt to put on a blue shirt, and he saw my tattoo, and he said, leave your shirt off. I'll never forget, because he goes like this.
Oh, the movie thing?
Yeah.
Where he's like this?
I'm thinking,
I
think, what gang is that? I'm thinking he's a gang sign. Right?
He's doing like a camera. He's looking to see what angle he wants.
And so this other guy keeps looking at me. I know this guy. Where do I know this guy from? And then he walked up to me and he said, you're Danny Trejo. I go, yeah. He says, you know, Danny, I saw you in the lightweight and the welterweight title up in Quinton. I said, you're Eddie Bunker. And I knew this guy. This guy was the captain's clerk in San Quentin. That is the most powerful position you can have, because anything you put in front of the captain, he signs and says, go ahead. So if a guard is bugging you and you got some money, they get Eddie. Eddie goes, all of a sudden, that guard is out in the tower, out in the bay.
Right.
Wondering, how do I get transferred out here? You know, so everything is money. So we started talking. He said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm going to get $50 for acting like a convict. And we both laughed because we'd been doing that for free forever.
Doing it for free.
And he said, oh, you know what? We need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. Are you still boxing? I said, hell no, I'm 40 years old. I train. I'm still in good shape. We need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. And I said, what's it pay? And he said, $320 a day. And I said,
I'm in.
I said, how bad you want this guy beat up? And I thought, you know, that's a hit. That's not like, you know, after anything after 320 is you will kill him. You know, and so I started training Eric Roberts how to box.
He was just on the podcast last week.
I
He was
love
just
him.
right here. And from that, it just kept going.
Well, what happened is I trained Eric Roberts, and Eric, he'll admit it, he was kind of a loose cannon when he was, you know, an actor and star, and that's when I found out movie stars suck. You know, you better just be a working actor, and so Andre saw that I could handle this kid, right, and he, I'll never forget, he came up and he goes, you be in movie, because Andre Kozlowski, it was his first American movie, Runaway Train, and he was very right. You be in movie. You fight Eric in movie. And you be my friend. Okay, the first two I got. The third one is a red flag. In the pen, somebody says, you be my friend. Oh, hold on. Okay, now hold on. Listen, no showers together. There's a. No, it's just it's a red flag.
Yeah. You're like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
So, and then he leans over and he kisses me on both cheeks and leaves. I remember I turned to Eddie with my face.
What the fuck?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna train that kid for the 320, but if I'm gonna be kissing that old man, I want more money. No, he's European.
That's
Now,
what they do.
If I would have known what that man did for me by getting me that SAG card, yeah, that changed my life.
Change your life.
I mean, I was making probably 160 a week before taxes.
And now you're making 320.
God.
And then it just went up because they wanted.
And you know what? I learned how to follow instructions in the pen. And when I was showing Eric, right, this stunt coordinator is really, everybody knows he's been in prison. And I'd been out of prison 18 years when I did that movie, but he's been in prison. And so the stunt coordinator said, look, Dan, throw a left jab. So boom, I threw just a perfect left jab. He says, beautiful. You know, I know you're a professional fighter, but that doesn't show on camera. You know, it's like all the punches you throw have to be somewhat round. I said, okay. So I was showing Eric the same thing. And he saw that. After we wrapped that movie, he said, Dan, you know what? I got another film and I got room for one guy. And there's a fight scene, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry, but I can hire you as a stunt guy. Fine, you know, 320. You know, and I went from movie to movie to movie. I couldn't believe it. I was making 320, you know, like for 4 days, at 320 for.
You've never seen this kind of money.
Never. I mean, it was a robbery, but I mean,
Yeah.
But there's a price to pay.
Yeah. Gee, I mean, that's amazing. And that's what just started it all.
I would do. The first movie I did where I got to wear a shirt was. I swear to God, every time I go, oh yeah, you're the guy with the tattoo ticket, no shirt, right? And I did a movie called Death Wish 4 with Charles Bronson. And Bronson, that was my hero, man. You know, wow.
Was he cool?
Yo, he was awesome. He was awesome. I had to jack up some dude, right? And this guy was getting shitty with a guy named Perry Lopez, who had been in the business for years, right? 80 years old, had a emphysema, couldn't blow out a candle, and he was trying to set us up. And this kid, hey, I've been to Julia Art or whatever, some art class or something, and you can't tell me what to do. And I thought he was joking at first, and then he got shittier. And so I said, hey, bitch, listen. I told him to tell you, okay? So now why don't you just listen? Oh, I'm getting into character. I didn't know what that meant. I'm getting into character.
Oh, so you didn't like how it was.
Yeah,
so you put him in his place.
I said, well, I'm gonna kick your character's ass.
I'm getting into character. And so, I'm gonna kick you and your character's ass.
So he shut up. But then when I turn around, Bronson and the director are right behind me. I didn't know that. They just heard me threaten somebody's life. And I'm looking at him, and the director says, I have a little problem with that guy. I think he'll be all right now. And he walked away. Bronson looks at me and goes, you're like some kind of counselor or something, aren't you? Yeah. I'm thinking he's going to get the piss off my... He goes, I like the way you counsel. And he walked away.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. I thought, my God.
Inside of You is brought to you by J.C. Penney. Ryan, the fall is here.
Wow.
And J.C. Penney has fashion for literally everyone. That's right, folks. Fashion for everyone. You can go to J.C. Penney or shop online. But look, I know a lot of times, JC, we'll get into the brands. They have so many great brands, but a lot of times I wear sweatpants on this show. In fact, I'm wearing them now, and a t-shirt. But when I go out, I want to look sharp. I want to be trendy. I want to be cool. I want to feel good about myself, more importantly. And that's what happens when I go to J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney really covers it all in terms of fashion. You get the biggest brand names in fashion all in the same place.
JCPenney really covers it all in terms of fashion. I mean, I can get the biggest brand names in fashion all in the same place.
Liz Claiborne, Stafford, Ryegrass, Worthington, SJB, Arizona, so much more. Women's and men's trousers, sweaters, denim. It's just endless.
You can also explore JCPenney Beauty and find your favorite beauty brands too, or discover new ones to add to your fall beauty routine.
It's all here at JCPenney. Shop JCPenney or go to JCPenney online. JCPenney. Make it count. What do you, let me ask you this, because this is like, on this podcast, there's so many people out there and this helps their mental health and facing adversity. And if it's one person that's faced all this adversity in their life, it's you. And so what do you do for your mental health? Do you ever when you get depressed, when you get anxiety, or what do you do to conquer that?
I have anxiety attacks, a lot, but I blow into a bag. That always helps me. But as far as like, there's an attitude of gratitude that we have to keep. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I don't know how to say it,
but being grateful.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm on the green side of the grass. That's okay. There's one. Good friend like Sam Rubin. He passed away 56 years old.
Sweetheart.
You know what I mean? A beautiful guy, so it's like, wait a minute, man. It's like, he's got me here for some reason. So I know it's not to do bad. So I got to do good every day. Got to help somebody. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you go to a neighbor, just knock on the door. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, Dad. Could you help me take out the trash? Sure, and help them take out the trash or whatever.
I 100% agree.
And it's like,
just a kind gesture.
Exactly.
Just do something for another human being, not yourself.
And there was a dog. It's funny because I love dogs. And there's this one lady who I guess she had hurt her leg, and I knew we always see her walking her dog, And so Mario, my assistant, I see knocks on her door. Hey, would you like me to walk your dog? I've noticed you haven't walked. Goes, oh yeah, thank you. And as soon as she grabs the leash, the dog's jumping up and down, walking. And it's like, okay, 10 minutes. What is that out of your life? And it
means something to someone else's life.
Oh my God, you know what I mean? So that's the way I want to live my life, and that's
the way you do live your life.
And I think that's one of the reasons I got to be 80. Wow, 80.
Shit. This is called Shit Talking with Danny Trejo. It's rapid fire. I'm going to ask you questions from these top tier patrons. Patreon.com/inside you. I love you. Thanks for supporting podcast. William K says, I know you're big on community. What are some of the programs, opportunities that you've supported that have gotten a lot of attention, but you think more people should know about it? Rapid fire.
Cry Help, Impact, Health Right 360, and San Fernando Recovery. Those are the ones that I really work with. San Fernando Recovery is parolees coming out of the pen. They're actually still in the penitentiary, and they can use all the help. They, clothes, jobs, anything. And same thing with Health Right 360. They're over on 6th Street, and they need, like all the help they can get, and so
that's great.
Those kind of guys. And sometimes I just pick up hamburgers and go pass them out. It doesn't matter. Just if you want to feel good, help somebody.
1,000,000%. I do that with Ronald McDonald House, and I always would go do movie nights for the kids and bring pizzas and movies, and I would, Echoes of Hope or foster youth, and just bring them to my house and watch a movie, just something to get them away from, just enjoy moments. So yeah, it's so important. Michael Caine Doesn't Blink says, out of all the Robert Rodriguez films you've worked on, what was your favorite role?
You know what? I loved Machete. I mean, you can't help
Come
it.
on.
But then there's Spy Kids, and he's batted 1,000 on every movie he's done.
I love him.
Except for the ones I wasn't in.
Raj, tell me about the last time you had a good cry.
My son did a film that just went into Cannes, and it's called From a Son. And in it, he plays my son. He overdoses and dies. And when he's dying, I'm waking up 90 miles away. I don't know where he's at, and I'm looking for him. And that came from my mom. When I used to get hurt on the street, she would wake up. She knew it. She knew something was wrong. And I used to call her, Mom, you're a witch, but I mean, she literally would feel the pain. So that's where he got that scene. It's unbelievable.
And you cried. I could say you got a little choked up just now.
But then I had this cry, and I wanted to cry like John Wayne. I'm a tough guy. I don't cry and cry. My mom, I cry to anybody. I wanted to kind of do it like John Wayne. Okay, Pilgrim, we got a beast. But he kept showing me baby pictures all week. Hey, Dad, remember this? Check this out. Remember this? And I'm, oh, yeah. And so we had this little girl who was supposed to be his partner in crime, and they lived in the desert, and we're walking to where he's buried, and we stop, and it's freezing cold. It's actually really cold, and I asked her, "Did you kill my son?" And no, I loved him. He's the only friend. She busts out. I lost it. I cried for everything I didn't cry. I had a booger cry. This was not
nothing, ugly cry.
Nothing manly about it. And I was trying so hard to be manly, but
and he saw this.
Oh, he's got it on film.
I bet he cried.
And well, when he finally said cut, the whole crew was crying. It was like I think they knew that I was not just acting,
That's awesome. I bet it felt good.
Oh, God, man.
It's cathartic, man.
Me and him really bonded over that, and it was just really, he's cool. He's a director now.
Flirtatious B, what's the biggest life lesson you've learned?
Not to get too close to anybody named Flirtatious.
Flirtatious B.
Hi, Flirtatious B.
That's a perfect answer. This is so exciting. I wish I had you longer, but I don't. But Seven Cemeteries is coming out, and I think it's going to be a cult. I think people are going to really enjoy it. If you like a little horror, if you like a little intense and drama and emotions and comedy, all mixed into one. And, you play another badass, but you got to have a heart.
Yeah, well, that was the thing that drew me to this movie, was the fact that, there's horror, but there's laughter. There's excitement, but there's passion. So it's all there. God, I just, I watched this cowboy movie. oh God, they made such a mistake. They tried to put these 4 movies together, and it was like, wait a minute, you should have just had 4 different movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just like, it was just too goddamn. They lost a lot of money.
7 freaking cemeteries.
Hey, it's
well,
awesome.
7 cemeteries. It's
Let's
awesome.
watch it.
I'm
Let's all
excited.
go watch
This
it.
is great. It's so great having you. I hope you'll come back. You are a great
Anytime.
guest. You are like your stories, your laughter, I could visualize everything, right, Ryan? You're truly a great guest. I admire you. Go to Trejo's Tacos, Trejo's Donuts.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. See this man's movie, Seven Cemeteries. Support him.
I got Trejo's music now.
Trejo's music, you know. I just hope I don't get Trejo's diarrhea after some tacos. They're good tacos. You
It's
won't
okay.
get diarrhea from them.
The tacos are awesome.
They're
Oh,
awesome.
God.
I've had them like 25 times.
Hey,
I love it. And
that
I
one
love
in
you.
London's killing it.
I love that. And what's your Instagram handle?
At Danny Trejo, probably. I have no idea.
Oh, well, we'll follow him.
Yeah.
And see 7 Cemeteries and be good to yourself. This guy he's went through the ringer. And the one thing I've noticed that you've learned out of all this is to just be kind to people, be grateful for what you got.
Attitude of gratitude. God bless everybody.
I loved it. He was jovial. He was, you could just see he's got a positive outlook on everything. Like everything's good. Life is good. I wish I could think like that sometimes.
I think you know what? I think about that because he is not the first 80-year-old man, if you can believe it, to come through here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I likened him to John Rhys Davies and Billy D. Williams. They all sort of had a similar sort of, I've been through it and I came out alive.
Stop wasting time.
And here
just
they
enjoy
are.
life.
So maybe you just have to get to 80 and then maybe you'll be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when you get to a certain age, when you just don't really give a shit anymore, where you're just kind of like, I'm going to do what I want to do. If I want to sleep till 12, I'll sleep till 12. If I want to have coffee with some friends, I'll have coffee.
If I want to have dinner at 4, I'll have dinner at 4.
Yeah, I'll take a little vacation. I guess that's retirement, but these guys haven't retired. That's just the thing. They keep going. So anyway, thanks for being here today, and thanks for supporting the podcast. And if you didn't listen, I don't know, to the opening, then you can just rewind, I guess.
Yeah.
Do they say rewind anymore? I guess so.
You can rewind.
Let's go to the top tiers who these folks really give back to the podcast and keep it alive. My top tier patrons, patreon.com/inside of you. We're going to read their names now because they're very important people. Nancy D, Lil Lisa, Yukiko, Jill E, Brian H, Niko P, Rob L, Jason W, Sophie M. I'm giving boxes to you guys. Like as we speak, I'm making boxes for you guys. Me and Joe, we're putting boxes together. Raj C, Jennifer N, Stacey L, Jamal F, Janelle B, Mike and Eldanzsupremo.
99 more, Santiago M, Maddie S, Kendrick F, Belinda N, Dave H,
Dave Hole,
Brad D, Ray H, Tabitha T, Tom N, Talia M, Betsy D, Rhiannon C, Corey K, Michelle A, Jeremy C. I'm out of breath now.
Oh, you're out of breath. Mr. M, Eugene and Leah, The Salty Ham, Mel S, Eric H, Oracle, Amanda R, William K, Kevin E, Jorel, Jammin J, Leanne J, Leanne, well, let me tell you something. Luna R, Mike F, Jules M, Jessica B, Breyer.
Kaylee J, Charlene A, Marion Louise L, Romeo the Band, Frank B, Jen T, R, oh God, April R,
Boy. April R,
Randy S, Claudia, Rachel D, Jen Carolina Girl, Lorelai L,
Nick W, Stephanie and Evan or
Stefan,
correct. Charlene A, Don G, Jenny B76, Tina E, NG, Tracy, Keith B, Heather and Greg, Ellie K, Elizabeth L, Ben B, Jamin, Pierre C, Sultan, Ingrid C, Christina S, Brandon C, Mrs. Lex Luther, finally, Dave T, and David L. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you very much for all the support and love. And from the Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, California, I am Michael Rosenbaum.
I'm Ryan Taze. I'm here too.
Little wave to the camera. We love you, and thanks for listening. Be good to yourself. We'll see you next week.